In section 4.7, we have what we call the predeterminers. Remember, we said we have determiners, we have the determiners, we have another group, we call them predeterminers, and then we have post-determiners. Post-determiners. Here we have the predeterminers. In fact, we have three subcategories of predeterminers. The first group consists of the three elements, three members, all, both, and half. The second group, we have what we call multipliers. Multipliers. And the third categories, we have what we call the fractions. So we have the first group consists of three elements, all, both, half, and then we have the multipliers, timing, and we have the fractions. Now we leave these two. Next time we'll take them, and we take the first group of these predeterminers. How do we use them? Again, with the relation with what? With this box of the nouns. We classify the nouns or all nouns either either countable or uncountable, either singular or plural. Suppose we give this, for example, this we call it number 1, and we call this one number 2, and this box number 3. Just number, in order to avoid words, we give. So when do we use all? We use all before what? Before 1, 2, and 3. So we can say all the door, all the bottle. We drank all the bottle, or they drank all the, say, cup. So all can be used before, or we can use it, all bottles are empty. All bottles are empty. Or we can say all milk was drunk. All milk was drunk. So then all can be used before what? Before number 1, the singular, before 2, the plural, and before number 3, the. If we come to, say, half, again, can be used before what? Before 1 and 2 and 3. Say, half the bottle was drunk. Half the bottle was drunk. Half the door or half the room was painted. So half can be used before. Or we say before the number 2, the plural. Half the students passed the exam. Half the students. So half can be, and also can be used before 3 to say half of the half of the juice was drunk. Half of the food was eaten. So then, according to their use, we can use them before, while both, the last one, both can be used only where? Only before number 2. Only before number 2 when it has a meaning of what? So both writers. Both writers mean we have what? 2 writers. We cannot say both writer or a writer. No, it is not, of course, writer singular, and both means 2. And also we cannot use before, for example, here, both coffee. No. Then means before number 2 when it has a meaning of 2, not all types of 2. 2 could be 3, 4, 5, whatever number. But we use both only when before plural when it has the meaning of just 2. This is the first feature of what? Predeterminer. The second feature of determiners is what we call of construction. Of construction. What is meant by of construction? Means we can use of with these words, with these expressions, to show the or has some construction. Means this is, we say, optional with, say, noun, but obligatory with pronoun. With the pronoun or pronouns. What is meant For example, we say all of the writers. See? All of the writers. Here it is what? It is, we call it optional. It is optional. Means we can say all the writers. But we say all of them. Here it is obligatory. We cannot say all them. We have to say what? All of them. So because writer is a noun, so of is optional. But when we change the noun into pronoun, then of became أصبحت what? Obligatory. Or both. Both. Again, of the say river. Both of the rivers. We say both of them. See, both of the river. We can say both what? Both rivers. Both of the rivers, or say both rivers. We can delete, but here we cannot delete. We have to say both of them. We cannot say both of them. So here it is what? And also with half. Half, again, of the half of the, for example, juice. Half of the juice. And we say half of it. Half of it. It means the juice. As you know, juice is drinkable. So we say half of the juice, or we say half the juice. But when we change juice into it pronoun, it, the of became what? Became as what? As obligatory and optional. Again, we of course we have other 2 or 3 features concerning the predeterminers. This is what we call means we can replace these determiners with the nouns. Means if we mention nouns, we can replace these nouns with determiners. If we say, for example, the students passed the exam, we can say both of them passed of the exam. If we say 2 students passed the exam, then we can remove the 2 students and we say both of them, or both passed the exam, means we put both instead of. Also with half, if we mention half of something, or we mentioned amount, then we can remove these things or this noun and replace it only with half. Also with all, instead of mention, they say farmers are working hard, we can say all are working hard instead of the word what? Farmers. So we delete farmers and we put only all. So it is possible to use these words instead of what? Instead of nouns. Means we mention the nouns. In other words, they can be used as what? As a pronouns. As we usually use the pronouns instead of nouns, it is possible to use these as a pronouns. It means instead of what? Of the nouns.